Welcome to this look at new mods on Farming Simulator 25 with me, MrSealyp. Ladies and gentlemen, it is Tuesday the 26th of November. We've got some new Farming Simulator 25 mods. We have got an update, but the update was from Saturday, and it's actually new to console is the update. Guaranteed crop prices by Disturbed Simulation. So I was waiting for the next mod review to kind of add this in. There's nothing to actually show you. I'll read the description and what it says anyway, but the guaranteed crop prices, it says, tired of seasonally varying crop prices? Well, worry no more. With guaranteed crop prices, you'll get the best price for all base game crops, production outputs and animal products all year. This mod on FS22 is previously known as fixed crop prices. Now, it does say there will be small price variations across the year due to how the game calculates prices if you've got multiple sell points selling the same thing, because it does it to add that bit of sort of competition between sell points, that kind of thing. But it also does say if you've got a new save game, it will work straight off the bat. If you're adding this to an existing save game, the variation graphs will show the old variation until you progress through one game year. And what I mean by variations is the prices menu here. So that graph that shows the price variations, it will give you best price all year. If you've added it into a new save game, if I'd added it into this one, it would still be showing that graph until you've gone through a full year, and then you'll get maximum prices. Now, if you want to keep it as a more immersive feel, so you have got that fluctuation across the year of highs and lows and selling your crops when you need to, or whatever product it is, at the best possible time, then this may not be the mod for you. If you want to make sure that no matter what time of year it is, you're going to get the best possible price, this may well be the mod for you to install. Once installed, like I said, there's no tangible thing. It will just change the stats screen that you can see just there. So that's guaranteed crop prices. The other thing I'm going to say is there are some additional mods that I'm not going to be showing. I've decided for the FS25 mods, I think I might have said this on one of the earlier mod reviews as well, the mods that Giants are adding in themselves are what I consider to be base game vehicles. Most of these are being ported over from Farming Simulator 22 and just didn't quite make it into the base game. There's mixed feelings about this, generally speaking, across the forums, community, people that I've spoken to and have messaged me. The problem being that you only have a certain amount of space for mods in your mod hub anyway. Now, Giants had to make a decision. We can't get all of these vehicles in and ready in time for the release of the game. We'll focus on getting all these other things done first. They will come, we'll just add them in later, which is what I said on a few videos. We will get more of the machinery coming in. But I think what people are annoyed about is to have a lot of this machinery and equipment that should, in inverted commas, be base game, you're having to use mod space. I think that's where people are a bit annoyed. Anyway, what I will do, if Giants put anything into that from themselves that is a new mod, something different that we haven't had before, I will have a look at it. If I miss one or I get one wrong, if it is something we haven't had before, I do apologise. But what should come up on the screen now is today's. There's the Kverneland Qualidisc Pro 6001T soil cultivation disc harrow. We have got the John Deere XUV865M. We've got the John Deere 4755, the John Deere 560 pack, which is the John Deere 560 harvester. Then you've got the 625X grain header, and you've got the 608C corn header. And then there's also the Agco Ideal pack, which is the large Agco harvester, with the Ideal Paralevel harvester, the Ideal T. And then we've got the Powerflow 30 foot, Powerflow 40 foot, and Dynaflex 9255 40 foot headers that come with those. Like I said, I'm not going to show those because they were base game on 22. And if it is something you particularly want to have in your base game, you can add them in if you want to. So on to today's mods then. Behind me we have got the Open Garage by mafokri. 4.85 megabytes download, 9 slots. I've put down R3. This has some customization. It's a fairly large building, as you can see. Customization includes there's a word, solar panels. We do have light switch inside. I'm going to switch to this view so we can see if we come inside here. Just there on the wall. Turn on or off our shed lights. Nice big building. I say nice and airy, it still has a dark feel. I'm going to say this again. I set this up, Hutan Pantai, as my test map because it was, the fields are much closer to the garage than they are on Riverbend Springs, to make it easier for doing mod reviews and stuff. I'm still finding, although I have tweaked all my stuff, the lighting generally across the board isn't as good on Hutan Pantai as it is on Riverbend Springs. I'm just going to put that out there now. So, under build mode, sheds, right there. Now, this is an interesting one. Something I said earlier as well with this, and it's the same with the base game ones, it doesn't give you the information, all the information that you need. I will double check on the mod to see what it says in there. Yeah, it doesn't on here either, which is interesting. So anyway, 306,500 is what this building will cost. 9 slots. This is what it comes like standard. This is the other thing I'm having real problems with, and I hope this gets sorted out. I have been told today when I did my live stream, a lot of people are saying there is an update. I knew there was an update that had been submitted. Apparently the next update is going to go live on the 3rd of December, which is next Tuesday, I think. So 306,500 as it stands. If I press R3, that gives me my options for customization. Solar panels, yes or no. If I add solar panels, that adds 281,250 onto the 300,000 already. But what it doesn't tell you is, what do you earn? What do none of them do in the game. It doesn't tell you when you add solar panels, for that value, for that price, what do you get? Now people say, well, can't you just speed up time and find out? You can. But I still think under this menu, if you click yes, it should tell you what you're going to get per hour, per month, whatever the figure may be. It doesn't actually say it in the menu either. In the on the Modhub website, it just says this machinery shed can be used to store vehicles and various equipment. The large openings allow easy access for larger machinery. Doesn't say anything else. So they should. What I will do is probably speed up time. Anyway, what I should have done, actually go back onto there. We've got a colour option as well. Anything on this palette like that, so we can change the colour of the siding. Seems to be a fairly standard colour palette at the moment. I think a lot of, I say a lot of, we haven't had a lot of mods yet, but modders are using the base game colour palettes and stuff and menus to start off with, and I guess stuff will progress from there. That's when you start getting the pinks and vibrant greens and other bizarre colours like that. So what I can do, I guess what I should do, what am I on? 50,123,949. I might skip ahead to 11 o'clock. Let's go into this menu here, go to that one. Did that change at all? I don't think it did. So maybe into the next day it will change? What I will do is, when I finish, again if I remember, I'll skip ahead till tomorrow and see if the money's gone up at all, because it could just be the solar panels. If they're just decorative objects, that's a lot of money for a decorative object. I would have thought you'd get paid hourly, but it might be you get paid at the end of the day. Maybe. But I will double check that, and that will come up on the screen. If you do get paid when it goes into the next day, technically the next month, I'm on 1 day months. Anyway, that's the Open Garage by Mafokri. Next we've got this interesting looking bit of kit. Something a little bit different, isn't it? This is the Manure Evacuator by MA7 Studio. 33.37 megabytes download, 7 slots, 400,000 litre capacity. As far as I can tell, we have got an output bit, nicely made and detailed, weathered look and that kind of thing. This is designed to go next to cow barns or barns and buildings that produce manure. So this is a manure extension, a manure heap, basically, because there's no way to put manure into this. So whilst it is a silo, you can only take out of it. So we go into our build mode, across the silos, and we come down. It's just there. Silo to store manure, 400,000 litres. Now that's the same as that says silo to store manure. Whilst it doesn't say manure heap, there's no way of putting manure into it So, and then looking at the pictures on the Modhub website as well, it shows it next to cow barns, cow buildings, that kind of thing. So that is a manure heap for your animals. If you've got straw in there, they will produce it, and then you can take it out from there. Very straightforward, that one. No options for customization on that. Next to that, we've got this, the flower crusher. No lighting underneath this. This seems a little bit dark, I'll be honest. Again, it's down to the lighting on the map as well. This is the flower crusher. This is also by MA7 Studio. 16.7 megabytes download, 11 slots. It's basically, it's a grain mill. It's one of the small production grain mills, whilst it says flower crusher. I've got one of the base game ones just over there, because I wanted to see the comparison between the two with regard to recipes and stuff like that. Now, we have got a container here. I don't know if it'll see into it. So it has got the trigger up the top. You don't have to have a conveyor to put your stuff into this. There is a trigger, I'll show you in just a second. There is a trigger around here on the floor which will allow you to drop stuff in from a trailer if you want to. Our managed production is done around the back here, so if we click on that, you'll see we're on flour crusher. So you've got barley flour, mineral feed, oat flour, rice flour from long grain rice, rice flour from rice, sorghum flour and wheat flour. Now what I'm going to do is change output. You notice they all change together, those ones, and then what we'll have is the same with this. For our rice flours, they will all change together, but this one has mineral feed as well. So as far as the difference between this and the base game version goes, the only difference, I say only, there are two differences. One, the base game one doesn't have the option for mineral feed. So the mineral feed recipe, 3 barley, 3 corn and 1 soybean will give you 5 mineral feed out. Other than that, if we go to our grain mill, barley, oat flour, rice flour, long grain rice, rice flour, rice, sorghum flour, wheat flour, the recipes and cycles per month are absolutely identical to the base game grain mill. The smaller one, that is. The other difference is on the flour crusher is the capacities. You've got 30,000 litres of each product all the way down on this one. The base game grain mill, you can see the capacities are all slightly different, but they're all more than 30,000. So that's really the big difference. I will put a couple of bits in. I think I've already put some oat in, so we can put the oat flour on. I'm going to change that to storing. Change those as well. And what was the other one I put in here? A little bit of wheat as well, didn't I? So put that on activate. So both of those are producing now, and product should start coming out at some point. Anyway, so yeah, mineral feed is the additional, and the mineral feed requires those extra things. Under build mode, under factories is where you'll find it. Now I'm saying because you've got different size ones. Again, if you're new to the game, you might not have seen many mod reviews or anything like that. Depends how much you've gone into all the various different menus. You've got your larger buildings, which have either higher or more cycles per month, higher cycles per month, or larger recipes. The smaller ones, generally speaking, it's either the cycles per month or the recipes are 10 times less. So there's your basic grain mill. That's the base game one there that we just had a look at. That's 36 grand. And then this modded one is just there at the bottom, also 36 grand. The slot count on that was 11, which comes down to 1. It's still saying 11, but it comes down. There's no options for customization or anything like that. You get it just as it is. Rotation and placement as you would expect. So they're the smaller versions, and then, like I say, you can either load in if you want to go for a slightly more realistic view on it. It's entirely up to you. There you go. Which puts stuff in like that. Actually, I'll do the rest of that. We'll get the other one. Or we can do next to it. So it is, in essence, it's a grain mill, but with the option of mineral feed as well. There you go, you can see it coming out there. So there is a trigger by the side. You don't have to use conveyors if you don't want to. So that's the Flower Crusher by MA7 Studio. Next, we've got this. This is the Ocrama Kane 300 by SMI Modding Team. 14.42 megabytes download, 9 slots, 3 meters wide. Ladies and gentlemen, it is a 3-meter cultivator. Cheers, applause. Whoa. Anyway, I'm sure people will be very happy. Nicely made and detailed. It comes like this, but I'm going to show you the options on it in just a second. So you will find it under our cultivation section. So cultivators, there you go. 21 grand for the base model. Slot count comes down to 1. Options on this, none. You get it just like that in all its goodness. Like I say, the detailing on all of the springs, the bolts, the bolt heads, all the stuff like that, very cool indeed. So it comes like this, gives you the option to fold the cultivator, which brings the sides in, lifts that whole lot back up, and then puts the transportation hazard markers out, which do have lights on and do have indicators on, like so. Unfold it, ready for operation. Now, as far as I can tell, I've done a little bit of a test on this. This is how it operates in real life, but it doesn't seem to make any difference in game. We have got the option L1 and right stick side to side, raises and lowers that whole rear section. R1 and right stick side to side, raises and lowers the disc section. Just there. Now, I've tried it with the whole lot up. I've tried it with the whole lot down. I've tried it with the discs down, the discs up, and it does seem, as far as I can tell, that it does exactly the same thing regardless. It is a cultivator, it will bring up stones, but if you want to have, again, that more immersive feel, if I just tilt that a little bit like that, you'll get the rollers will roll as well. Got to get it, there we go. So it's touching the ground a little bit better. Those will be breaking up the clods and stuff like that. There's a bit of bounce and a bit of movement. But as you can see, 3 meters, cultivating goodness, and it is bringing up stones if you have your stones enabled. There is no higher or lower option with regard to the cultivating height. It is what it is. Like I say, very nicely made, very nicely detailed. That's the Ocrama Kane 300 by SMI Modding Team. Next, this is the Orizzonti MixRev series by SMI Modding Team. This is a mulcher. Now, it's designed for... It's weird because I've got grass grown here. I've got some weeds as well. I've got grass the other side too, but it's not working on it. I can't work out why, but it is working on normal grass, so I can show you it working on normal grass, and whether it's something to do with the fact has been ploughed or cultivated, but it doesn't seem to be mulching between there. Anyway, it is a mulcher, so under this category here, there it is, 6,500. Slot count comes down to 1. It's a 1.6 out to a 2 meter option, and those options are done here. So you've got the 160 at 1.6, the 180 at 1.8, and then the 200 at 2 meters. Those are your options. So when we get into our tractor, under L1 and right stick side to side, we can adjust its position. Now, we do have the option to attach something on the back of it as well behind that. So if you want to do your mulching and potentially cultivating or something else at the same time, you can add things on behind that. It does have a 3-point link as well. Turning it on, and like I say, I'll show you. Like I say, it's going to be something to do with the crops. It's not doing anything when I do it in here. Didn't do anything between the grapes either. Now, this will mulch all sorts of stuff. It do corn stubble and stuff as well. Obviously, if you're going to do a big cornfield with this at 2 meters or 1.8, it's going to take a while, but I'll show you. At least you can see it operating. Let's drop that down. That's it, mulching. Just it doesn't seem to want to do anything through there. I'll go through to the grapes as well, but at least you can see it has mulched. The Orizzonti MixRev series by SMI Modding Team. I don't do grapes and olives very often, but that is definitely grass that's grown there. It just might be it hasn't grown up fully, because that definitely is cutting that. I think it might just be hasn't grown enough. Come on. Although I have skipped through quite a few months and it doesn't seem to have got any longer than this, yeah. That's more likely something I've done than it is the actual mod itself. Next. We've got these making a welcome return. The Güttler Matador by VertexDezign. The Güttler Matador 610S. 16.14 megabytes download, 7 slots, 6 meters wide. There are 2 versions. There's a roller version and there's a grassland roller version. This you will find under rollers, which is just there. 15 grand, that's all for a 6 meter. So we've got our option as roller, so if you're going to do your seeding, sowing, then roll, get all your bonuses and stuff like that, or you just wanted to have it to make nice smooth seed beds regardless, you have it in that configuration. The grassland roller, I'll show that in a minute. If you have cut grass, and that's grass on a field that you've planted, it takes your grass back to 1 growth stage. You can go over with this and it'll give you your second, not growth stage, yeah, it'll take it back 1 growth stage. It'll give you 1 fertilizing state back on grass. This will give you a new fertilizing state by basically just kind of conditioning the ground. If you use this on grass that hasn't been cut yet, I think it takes the grass back a stage, so you've got to be careful. We will double check that. I'll show that in a minute. Those are the only 2 options on there. 80 horsepower required. So what we'll do hopefully is unfold. Well, again, let's go back up to that. What's those clip? Really nice detail on that. Lights, as you can see, it is front mounted. That is the purpose. Hence the front lights being nice and bright. Drop it down. Well, I must admit, I thought it was going to change that a little bit more. Let's raise that up and we'll go over the bit we've just cultivated. There we go. So it should push smaller stones back into the ground. You can see it doing its job, rolling over the bit that we've already cultivated. And if you've already done your seeding, sowing, that should do a nice smooth seed bed and give you the bonus for it as well. So what I'm going to do is drop that off. Whoops. Oh, I didn't like that. Probably should have lowered that first. That's good to know. Is that going to let me hook back up to it? It's not. That's worrying. Right, let's unfold this one. So what I will do with this one, because this needs to go on the front, this is the grassland roller. I'll show that in just a moment. I'm going to lower it first. Good to know. Let's lower it, then detach it. There you go. It shouldn't tip over. Top tips and advice. I won't worry about that. I'll come and pick it up later on. Don't worry, everyone. It'll be absolutely fine. I promise. Get on the front, fold it up. Right, so peas will be fine. We've got narrows on. What I'm driving is the final mod we're going to get to in a moment. The Case IH AFS Connect Magnum series by KarlFarms. So you can get a nice listen to it and look at it while we're driving across. It's a nice looking bit of kit. Actually, what I will do, let's unfold it here. If it works like the old ones, other ones used to, if you use this on grass that's already grown, yeah, so it will take it back a growth stage. So you have to be careful. So if we go and check on our fields now, and we go across one, soil composition, you see we're getting the second fertilizing state, but it's knocking our grass back. You don't want to use this on grass that hasn't been cut, because the grass is your crop. You want to harvest your grass first, cut your grass first, then use it. But you can see it is giving us our next fertilizing state. So what I'm going to do is take it over to a bit that has been cut. Just wanted to make sure that it was still doing that. That's what it always has done. Let's try that again, shall we? So we come to a bit that has been cut and lower it down. Turn the lights on so we can see. So as we drive forward now, you can see it's getting a little bit darker on the ground. So we are just conditioning the grass that's been left behind after mowing. Now you're going to want to remove the grass, the swaths, whatever it is you've done, whatever reason you've done your mowing for, whether it's for silage work or baling or whatever it is you're doing. If we go back to our map, you'll see there that where the grass has been cut, it's taking it back a stage and then we're adding in an extra fertilising state by using the grass roller. Just turn the lights off. Oh, okay, that's interesting. Good to know. You can only disconnect it if it's unfolded. So it only folds up for transportation down the road. There you go, the Güttler Matador 610S by VertexDezign. And the last of the mods, as I was saying, the IH AFS Connect Magnum series by KarlFarms. It's a lovely looking bit of kit. Sounds good. Lights, horn you've just seen, beacons. We don't have doors or windows that open, but we do have in-cab L1, R1 and left stick side to side. We can move our cab. I think it says it's got a 40-degree move. Did I say move our cab? Move our seat in the cab. 40-degree turn on our seat, like that. I mean, obviously we can just turn around if we want to, but that adds that extra level of immersion. Again, if you're doing work where you've got stuff behind you, you need to be keeping an eye on having your seat at that angle. Saves you having to twist around in your seat all the time when you're operating in a piece of equipment or machinery. Interior detail, very nice indeed. $33 miles an hour. I don't think we've got any option for the stalks. I think it's just the seat. So I do like having a third person for getting that feeling of scale. Look at it, very nice indeed. So this you'll find under large tractors. So the base game version is just there, 351 grand. Same price, 351,000. Slot count of 18, 0.10 megabytes download, so no biggie as far as download space that's required. We have got 374 horsepower, 418 horsepower, 435 horsepower for an extra 15 grand for the full whack. We've got Trelleborg, we've got Michelin, we have got Continental, Mitas, BKT, Vredestein, Nokian. Now on each of them we have got standard, wheel weights, rear twins, crawler track broad, 3 metre crawler track broad, back to standard. The one that's different is Trelleborg, which has all of those, but it also has under the Trelleborg the narrows, or row crops, however you want to refer to them. So there's our twins. Then we go into row crop singles, row crop rears, row crop all the way around, and then onto the crawler track. So if you want the row crops, you're going to want the Trelleborgs on that. We've got the EU spec, looks like this, US spec, like that. On the front we've got attachers, 3-point link, 435 kilogram front weight, 650 kilogram front weight, 980 kilogram, back to 3-point. Rim colour, we've got that silver, we've got black, we've got white, and then we've got this special edition case grey, which I went for, which I quite like. Then license plate option on there as well. A lovely bit of kit to end the mod review for today, Tuesday the 26th of November. I hope you found this useful and informative in some way, shape or form. If you have, please give us a like. If you don't subscribe yet, please do. If you want to leave a comment, feel free. And if you want to share this video, then please be my guest. Whatever you should choose to do. Thanks for watching.